once again. This is the second part of William Shakespeare. So already we had made a video on William Shakespeare. That was the absolute an introduction about William Shakespeare. And in this video, we will see the works of Shakespeare as well as the very important facts about the works of William Shakespeare. So let's start. So as we all know that Shakespeare has written a lot of works, 154 sonnets, and around 39 plays. So in many books, we will see that the works of Shakespeare are generally divided into three parts: primary, secondary, and like that. But here I have divided according to its genre, like for comedy different, for tragedy different, and for historical plays different. Because this is how it is asked in our examination. In examination, it is never asked and which plays has appeared in first generation of William Shakespeare, first generation of William Shakespeare. It is never asked. So let's see what are the Shakespearean comedies. So if when we talk about Shakespearean comedies, generally, the theme of the Shakespearean comedy is love, as we know that. That is called a romantic comedy. So, what are the generally comedies of Shakespeare? That is, first is All's Well That Ends Well, and the source of that particular comedy is Boccaccio's Decameron. This is a very important point that sometimes it is asked. That particular comedy has been written based on which work. So you have to remember it. That is Boccaccio's Decameron. That is the source of that particular comedy. Then, As You Like It. So as we know that this is very popular. So what is the source of that particular comedy? The source is Rosalinda's Euphues' Golden Legis, a novel written by Thomas Lodge, published in 1590. And also you have to remember regarding As You Like It, that is, it is a pastoral comedy by Shakespeare. So this is only pastoral comedy that Shakespeare has written, that is As You Like It. Then we have Comedy of Errors, Love's Lovers Lost, Measure for Measure, The Merchant of Venice, The Merry Wives of Windsor, Midsummer, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing, The Taming of Shrew, The Tempest, Twelfth Night. And you remember it, Twelfth Night, the play is set in Illyria and a pub named Elephant. That question asked in many examinations. I personally experienced it. That 12th night, in 12th night, what is the name of the pub? So the name of the pub is the Elephant. So don't be confused. They will give a different kinds of names. So the name of the pub is the Elephant. Then the Two Gentlemen of Verona, the Winter's Tale. So you can get a screenshot of it, and you have to remember these all the names of Shakespeare's comedies. Next, you will see the tragedies of Shakespeare. This is very important. So generally, when you talk about Shakespearean tragedy, there are three parts are divided. So this is what an exposition of state of affairs. So first, in the tragedy of in any Shakespearean tragedy, you will find there is an exposition of state affairs, then conflict, and after that the final catastrophe or tragic outcome. That is called tragic flow of or error of judgment. Like when you talk about Othello, what is the tragic flow of Othello? That is called jealousy, sexual jealousy, right? Similarly, so there are three generally parts of Shakespearean tragedy. That is what affairs, conflict, and catastrophe. So what are these tragedies are there? The Antony and Cleopatra, Coriolanus, Cymbeline, Hamlet, and you remember it many times. The question is asked that it is set in the kingdom of Denmark. Where is Hamlet set in? It is in the kingdom of Denmark. Then Julius Caesar. What is the source of Julius Caesar? Actually, Thomas Norton's translation of if there is a translation of Thomas Norton, that is Plutarch's Lives. It is based on true events from Roman history, which also includes Coriolanus and Antony and Cleopatra. Okay. Then we have King Lear, Macbeth, and sometimes it is asked what is the full title of Macbeth. You remember it, the tragedy of Macbeth. It is the last tragedy of Shakespeare in complete form. That is also a very important point for us for the perspective of examination. That is, what is the full title? What is the title of Macbeth? Full title of Macbeth. That is the tragedy of Macbeth. And this is the last tragedy of Shakespeare, which is written in complete form by Shakespeare. And also you remember it, this is the shortest tragedy of Shakespeare. Macbeth is the shortest tragedy of Shakespeare, that you remember it. Tragedy I'm talking about. And when you talk about what is the shortest play of Shakespeare, then it comes Comedy of Errors, that you will see later on. But if it is asked what is the shortest tragedy of Shakespeare, that is Macbeth. And then we have Othello, very important. The major source of the play is Clintheo's The Hecatomb myth. It is subtitled The Moor of Venice. So what is the subtitle of Othello? That is The Moor of Venice. That you remember, very important for the perspective of our examination. Then Romeo and Juliet, Timon of Athens, then Titus Andronicus, Troilus and Cressida. Now here, though Julius Caesar, Antony, and Cleopatra and Coriolanus are included under tragedies, yet they are also considered Roman plays of Shakespeare. So sometimes it is asked in the examination that which are the tragedies of Shakespeare considered as a Roman plays. So that is, there are three play tragedies are there. There is Julius Caesar, Antony and Cleopatra, and Coriolanus, which are called Roman plays as well. Okay. Next, historical plays of Shakespeare. That is the main source of historical play of Shakespeare is the Raphael Holinshed's Chronicles of England. That you remember it, and these are the names of the historical plays. And generally, I am telling, questions are asked very less from the historical plays of Shakespeare. Okay, most of the questions are asked from Shakespeare from comedies, or either comedies or tragedies. Okay, so these are the historical plays of Shakespeare. Please take a screenshot and go through of it. Next, we will see very important things that in many books you won't find it. The Shakespeare's, there are three novels are there which are considered problem plays. Now, why is it called problem plays? Because the the content of the plays is so ambiguous that it creates a lot of confusion for the readers to understand exactly. So that is why these are the three no plays are considered as problem plays. So you remember it, who has first used the term problem plays for Shakespeare's play, that is Frederick S. Boss in 1896. Okay, this the name is very important. Who first used the term problem plays for Shakespeare's play, that is Frederick S. Boss in 1896. And there are three plays. What are these three plays? One is All's Well That Ends Well. And one more thing I have written it in bracket, that is that particular play is also called Grave and Earnest by Edward Dodden. Then we have another play, problem play, that is Measure for Measure, which is also considered dark and bitter by Edward Dodden, describing that these are problem plays of Shakespeare. Troilus and Cressida, then it is called Strange and Difficult, that is Edward Dodden. So these are the three problem plays of Shakespeare. And please to remember it, what are the names have been given, how it is considered. That like Troilus and Cressida is called Strange and Difficult. Then Measure for Measure is called Dark and Bitter. Also well, that ends well is called Grave and Earnest. Okay, that is called by Edward Orden. Next, we will see the important points of Shakespeare's works generally for the perspective of our examination. And why am I saying so? Very important points regarding Shakespeare's work, because these are the questions asked many times in many examinations. So there are many things regarding Shakespeare, but we will focus only the things which are pertinent to our examinations. So let's see what are the important points. The Comedy of Errors. So it is the shortest play of Shakespeare, as I told you people. The shortest tragedy of Shakespeare is what? That is I already told, that is Macbeth. And the shortest play of Shakespeare, that is the Comedy of Errors. So please don't be confused and try to remember it for the perspective of our examination is very important. And you also remember it that Comedy of Errors is a farcical comedy also. Now there are some characters in Shakespeare's plays which appears multiple times in different plays. है ना? So Balthazar is a character who appears in three novels of Shakespeare. These are the points are very important for the perspective of examination. Like Balthazar, they will ask you that which character is appeared in these are the novels repeatedly. So Balthazar So Balthazar appeared in Merchant of Venice. It appears in Comedy of Errors. It also appears in Much Ado About Nothing. Then, which is the longest play of Shakespeare? I hope you all know that. That is Hamlet is the longest play of Shakespeare, and it has been described as the world's most filmed story after Cinderella. So very important point for the perspective of our examination. That is what that Hamlet is the longest play of Shakespeare, as well as it is described as the world's most filmed story of Cinderella. Right. Next, another character is there. That is Demetrius is a character in two plays of Shakespeare. That same character appears in two plays of Shakespeare. One is Midsummer Night's Dream, another is Titus Andronicus. That as a Tamara's son. That we will see in the next videos regarding all these characters in brief and regarding the play as well. Then there are some very important quotations are also there that we should remember it, which comes, there is a quotation that vengeance is in my heart, death in my hands, blood and revenge are hammering in my head. So this is a very important quotation. It appeared in many examination. I saw that, and they will give you the quotation and they will ask that quotation appeared in which play of Shakespeare. That is Titus Andronicus. That please do remember all of you. Next, the two gentlemen of Verona. It is said in Verona and Milan. So that why have I included it? I'm telling you, I personally saw that question repeatedly asked in examination, PGT examination as well as TGT examinations, and even in some NET examination, that the two gentlemen of Verona are set in which place. So options sometimes they will give only Verona, so but it's not only Verona, it's Verona and Milan. Okay. So here, very important quotation of that particular play is you remember it, and I think you all know that man had a tongue. I say, is no man if his tongue cannot win a woman. So this is very important. Like if you have a tongue, so you can win a woman. Means you can speak nicely, you can win a heart of a woman. That is what the quotation is all about. So I hope that you people will uh, keep that points with you and remember it. Next, let's see that some other points, important points of Shakespeare. That is Soliloquy by Mark Antony after his famous speech in Julius Caesar. This is one of the famous and important soliloquy of Julius Caesar that is made by Mark Antony. What is this? Coward dies many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Please do remember all of you that is appeared in Julius Caesar, which is the soliloquy marked by Mark Antony. And Chaos is the character in two novels of Shakespeare. That is King Lear, Merry Wives of Windsor. Then Falstaff is a character which also appears in two novels of Shakespeare. That is Henry IV and Merry Wives of Windsor. Helena is a character in the following plays of Shakespeare. That is A Midsummer Night's Dream, All's Well That Ends Well. So please do remember these are the character which appears in multiple plays of Shakespeare because these are the very important perspective of our examination of PGT as well as in TGT. So now next see some of the other points like S.T. Coleridge applied the term motiveless malignity to the character Iago, which is the character very important character of Hamlet. You must have studied Hamlet, and you know that the character Iago. So S.T. Coleridge has used a term for that particular character and he said that motiveless malignity. So, who is called motiveless malignity by S.T. Coleridge? That is Iago, which is the character of Hamlet. Please do remember it. Then so the character Antony appears in the following plays of Shakespeare. What is the place? That is The Merchant of Venice, then Twelfth Night, The Tempest, Much Ado About Nothing. That also very important. The character Sebastian appears in the following plays of Shakespeare. Two Gentlemen of Verona. Sebastian is a very important character. Please do remember it. So it appears in various plays of Shakespeare, like Two Gentlemen of Verona, Julia disguised as Sebastian. Actually, that you will see how woman disguise a man. Then Twelfth Night, Okay, brother of Viola, then Tempest. Then another point is let's say sonnet number 153 and 154 means last two sonnets of Shakespeare that is dedicated to Cupid, and you know that the Cupid is the god of love. So it is asked in many examinations. So sonnet number 53 and sonnet number 54 dedicated to whom? That is dedicated to Cupid. We know that the sonnets are dedicated to Dark Lady and his friend WH. So Mr. WH. So apart from that, you also remember the last two sonnets of Shakespeare, which are dedicated to whom? Cupid, that is God of love. And what is the first sonnet of Shakespeare? In many examinations, this also asked. What is the first sonnet of Shakespeare that is from fairest creature? When shall increase? Definitely, it is written for his friend. And we all know that the sonnet always contains 14 lines, but there is a sonnet, sonnet number 99, which contains 15 lines. So there is only sonnet in Shakespeare out of 154, sonnet number 99, which contains 15 lines. That also is very important. Remember, all of you. Next, which is very important again for our examination, that is cross-dressing in the place of Shakespeare. We know that in disguising men to women and women to men is a very common in many places of Shakespeare, but we will see some of the characters and some of the plays where the cross-dressing has become a very important part of it. And for our perspective of examination also, it is asked. So let's see that. So there are generally seven plays of Shakespeare which has featured with cross-dressed characters, both women in men's clothing and men in women's clothing. And most of the plays of Shakespeare are full of cross-dressing, but these seven especially having a more features about it. So first play that is As You Like It. So here which character disguised in which character we have to remember it because it is asked. So here in that place Rosalind disguises as a Ganymede and Celia disguises as Elena. Please do remember it. Then in Merchant of Venice, that Portia disguises as Balthazar. This is very important. Portia disguises as Balthazar, and Nerissa disguises as clerk of lawyer, and Jessica as page boy. Then the taming of the shrew, Lord soldiers play a prank on a page boy by dressing up as a girl and giving him a fake marriage to Christopher Sly. So please do remember it is very important. Then the two gentlemen of Verona, where you would find many characters disguised into men and men into women. And in that perspective, that novel, that play is very important. So here, the Julia disguises herself as Sebastian. Then the Merry Wives of Windsor. Uh, here it should be that particular play, the Merry Wives of Windsor. Here, Falstaff as Harens, the hunter, and Mr. Fraud and disguises as Mr. Brooke, right? There are some other characters like Falstaff as Fraud's Ammate's aunt, Mistress Quickly as Fairy, and children as Fairy. These are not much important, but from Midsummer Nights, this character is important. Like in 12 Night also is very important. In 12 Nights, what happened? There are characters like Viola as Cesario, then Festi as Sir Topos, then women disguised as men in battle dress. There are some historical novels where women disguised as men in battle, when means in battle dress they disguised themselves as a men and they fought. So these are the three characters are there which appeared in masculine character in the battle dress, right? So this is for the second part of regarding Shakespeare. Now I will put some questions and the answer of the questions that I will tell you in the next video. So by the time you all people try to get the answer of these questions. So first question is the lines "I am no Prince Hamlet nor was meant to be" appears in T.S. Eliot. We know that T.S. Eliot has written uh, very important very important critical works. Uh, and one of the critical works which is very famous like Hamlet on Hamlet that where he has said that Hamlet is an artistic failure. Apart from that, So this is a very important lines which is appeared in one of the critical works of T.S. Eliot. So please, all of you, try to find out the answer and write in the comment box. And tomorrow, in the next video, you will get the answer of these questions. So please do write the answer of the questions in the comment box. Next question is ripeness in all is a line from. This is a very important line. Ripeness in all. If you, it's a very interesting line as well. So it is appeared in many examination that line. That's why I have taken it. So please try to get the answer of the question in which plays of Shakespeare that line is appeared. That is ripeness is all, and write in the comment box. Next, very important questions. That is the first instance of female cross-dressing, as we discussed already. That there is cross-dressing is very common in Shakespeare's plays. So here the question is the first instance of female cross-dressing with the disconcerting nuances of a boy actor dressing as a boy while playing the role of a woman in the dramatic world of Shakespeare occurs in. Means first instance of female cross-dressing is appeared in which novel of which play of Shakespeare? It is the Two Gentlemen of Verona, As You Like It, Twelfth Night, or A Midsummer Night's Dream. So this is what for today, and please do like, share, and subscribe to get the updates regarding the next videos. And please do write the answer of these questions in the comment box. And definitely you will get the answer of these questions in the next video. So stay tuned. Thank you. Good day.